Hello and greetings, my people. Welcome to another edition of the Arsenal Future podcast. Yours truly, Chris from Arsenal Future. Well, it's been a while since we've posted, I think. I don't think I posted since the start of 2024. So, a belated Happy New Year to everyone. We're here to talk about Arsenal, of course. Don't forget to subscribe. We've been stuck on 21 subscribers for the last 2 months, so please, get those likes into the videos, share them, leave your comments down below. Don't be scared to do so, and of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We're looking to, to build this year of 2024 and become a massive Arsenal fan channel on YouTube. We played Liverpool last week. Not week before, I should say. We played Liverpool, then we played on the 23rd. We played Liverpool, then we played West Ham. We lost 2-0 at home, and we lost to 2-1 last week Sunday against Fulham. And since that 2-1 defeat to Fulham, our fans have been in uproar about our performance. The game against West Ham, which we should have won, we had so many chances. We'd have been there from now until the 12th of November and still not score. And we played against Fulham and we lost 2-1 after taking the lead. And those are 6 points dropped. Fulham and West Ham. We've done so well to go up to Anfield and get a 2-1 win. But that was... then after we let it go, now we're in a downward trajectory against West Ham and against Fulham. A lot of people are calling Arteta out. The Arteta out was trending on Instagram about 6 or 7 days ago after that defeat. The first defeat to West Ham was bad enough, but it was compounded further by the second defeat to Fulham, and that's when Arteta out was really trending from last week Sunday night. I was one of them, I've got to say, because even though I was not overwhelmed by the appointment of Mikel Arteta. I wanted a more experienced manager. And the first year I was really Arteta out, and then he turned me around at the start of last season when we got, when we went unbeaten we won our first, I think it was our first 6 games if I'm not mistaken. Then we lost to Manchester United up at Old Trafford, and then we lost. That was our first defeat, and then we went on. We picked ourselves up from the ground and carried on, and we were top by Christmas. Then the World Cup came, and then top by December or November. Then the World Cup came, and then we were still top, and we lost to Manchester City. And that was around the time I started to change my mind about Arteta, saying that, you know what, we could be onto something here. And then what happened afterwards? We lost to City that time, and then after we lost to City, we lost to Everton away. That was, I think, Sean Dyche's first match for Everton in charge, and then we went down again, and then we lost some injuries. We lost Saliba to injury, then we lost Thomas Partey, and then we never strengthened in the January window. We wanted Casado, but we ended up with Jorginho from Chelsea, a Chelsea reject. We got Jakub Kiwior in, he's looked decent, contrary to what a lot of our supporters think. He looks okay. He's not the finished article yet. He's only 20, I think he's 22, 23. So he's still got a lot of room and a lot of time for development. But a lot of our fans were saying that, as I said, I was going back to last season while I changed my mind about Mikel Arteta and wanted him in instead of out. But now he's changed my mind because I don't know, he makes the substitutions at the wrong time. A lot of our fans are saying that he should make substitutions at the right time. He shouldn't wait until the 75th minute to bring on a sub. Another thing this fan base is saying is that why isn't ESR, getting a game? He's now fit. He's been fit for maybe a few weeks now. Could even be a couple of months since he's been fit, and he's not been getting game time. And he's like, he doesn't trust him, or they're falling out. And a lot of people are trying to say that they're coming to some sort of conclusion that it's quite possible that ESR and Arteta, they're falling out, and he's not, as a result of that, he's not playing ESR, and he's not starting him, and he's not bringing him on, giving him at least half an hour. He's normally bringing him on the last sort of like 5 minutes, before the end of the match. So he doesn't really get a time to really assert himself. Doesn't get the time to assert himself in a match. And a lot of, supporters are noticing this. And another one is Reece Nelson. So what's the point in you having them on the bench? You give them new contracts. ESR got the number 10 shirt, got a new contract. I think it was about 18 months ago or so. Reece Nelson was given a new contract. So too is Eddie Nketiah. We all know that Eddie Nketiah isn't a finished article. He's not good enough for Arsenal. And I think we should try and cut our losses, sell him. I think I heard that Crystal Palace wanted him. West Ham are also linked with him. And I've heard that Bournemouth are also linked with him. But now Dominic Solanke is scoring goals for fun now. I'm not sure that if he'll get that gig now. But there's clubs who want Eddie Nketiah. And we should just cut our losses, take 35 to 40 million for him and use that money and try to reinvest it in other parts of the squad that we need, because we definitely need cover. If Declan Rice goes down, what then? Thomas Partey's injury prone. And so we need another midfielder, we need a striker, and I think we need a fullback. And that's just our fit. We have to go out in the summer and get another fullback, another midfielder, a wide player, and possibly another striker. Because the key is to have, you know, depth in every area. And we had that at the start of the season, to be fair to Mikel. But the thing was, Timber got injured in our first game against Notts Forest. Thomas Partey was injured. He was playing him as an inverted right back, and that wasn't working. And the start of our season was really dour. We weren't making, you know, we were giving up possession and we weren't dominating matches as much. We looked really poor. And teams were coming in at the end of matches against us, like Fulham got a 2-2 draw, even being down to 10 man, and Forest almost got a draw as well if they pull one back. So the system, he changed the system from last season with the more attacking, expansive system we had, where we're pressing, the press is stopped, the pressing from the front, from Gabriel Jesus, from Bukayo Saka, and from Gabriel Martinelli. The pressing, the front three are pressing a lot, that is stopped. And now what's happening now, we're easing off when teams come out with the ball, we're easing off. You know, and a lot of times teams are playing a low block against us, especially the teams in the lower down the division. They play a low block against us, where a low block, in other words, so for those of you who probably don't know what a low block is, when teams set up defensively against us, we're finding that very hard to break down. Last season, we wouldn't find it as hard. We're penetrating them through the wide players, Saka, Martinelli, and through the middle with the likes of course, Gabriel Jesus and even Martin Odegaard, excuse me, who scored 15 goals last season. I think it's 15 league goals last season he scored, or 15 overall. I think it was probably maybe 12 goals in the league and maybe 3 outside of the league, but he scored a lot of goals. He got into double figures in the Premier League last season, and he was playing well, and he was oozing class and quality. This season, not just him, but the whole of the team, they look lethargic. They don't look as though they don't know. They look as though they haven't got any ideas how to break teams down. For example, that West Ham match we had on I think it was the 28th, which was just over a week ago. We couldn't break. We could have stayed there until the cows come on. We wouldn't have scored, and we made chances, but we couldn't take them. Another thing again is our deficiency in front of goal. We cannot. Our improlificness, if there's such a word, we're not prolific in front of goal. We're not even sometimes testing keepers, and so that has to be addressed. And I personally think that a striker alone won't solve that. I think we need to freshen up the squad. And I even give ESR a match. I'll take out Odegaard for a bit and put ESR there to see what happens. And before I forget, during some part of this stream here, I'm going to put up some teams that I think Arsenal will propel Arsenal to become more proficient in front of goal. I'm going to tweak it and put some new signings in who I think would do well for Arsenal. And also I'm going to put some of the players that we're not using at this present time, for example, ESR and so on, in the squad, and tweak it. I might put up 3 or 4 different formations and 3 or 4 different teams from the one that we currently have, at this moment in time. And you see it near the end of this stream. I'll put them up. And I personally think that we need I think the 4-2-3-1 formation isn't a bad formation, but I think what's happening, a lot of people are saying they'll go to the games. I've not been to a game for a long time. I'm looking to go to a couple of games before the end of the season. And what a lot of people who go to the matches are telling me is that our wide players are too wide. So Saka is too wide to the right, and Martinelli is too wide to the left. We need to get our wide players in more. We need to get them in more, closer to the striker, which is at this moment in time Gabriel Jesus. We need to get them closer to. Sometimes even Trossard plays there, But we need to get our 2 white players closer in, so because we are like out wide too much. You're not really involved in the game as much. And so we need to get them more involved in the middle of the pitch, closer to the goals. And what we need to do also, Declan Rice is covering for too many people. At least last season we had Thomas Partey there. Thomas Partey could play as a 6, he could play as an 8. He's probably the best 6, one of the best 6s in the world, along with Rodri from Manchester City, and so on. And what we need to do, we need if Thomas Partey can get fit and come back into this team, hopefully we don't play him back at right back like we were doing at the start of the season. We need to get Thomas Partey in the game. I'll play him as a 6, and that means you can have Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard as a 2/8s if you like, because I think Partey's the best 6 in the world, one of the best 6s in the world. Declan Rice is not far behind, but he's still got some way to go to develop his game from that aspect. He's not probably the best long passer in the game, but the good thing with Declan Rice is he can drive with the ball. What he lacks in passing ability at times to get the ball from midfield to the attack, he makes up with the strides he makes. A bit Vieira-esque, if you like, because he can get the ball, he can run with it, and he can slip someone through, and he could cause chaos in the opposition's box, if you see what I mean, in the opposition's 18-yard box. And Thomas Partey can sit there, but also Thomas Partey can also join in because he's good enough at both ends, both sides of the ball, as they call it. He's good at the defensive side of it, and he's good at the more offensive side of it. And so that'll be an excellent, idea to try for Mikel Arteta to try that. Going back to what I was saying a bit before about Arteta out was trending. I was saying Arteta out because the thing is, a lot of our fans have said this as well, is that he's been there for 4.5 years. December last month when they made it 4 years, and then so it's just 4 years and a month. By the end of the season, with 4.5 years he's been there. Of course, the first season which wasn't his first full season, but when he continued from Emre, and then it was Freddie Ljungberg. When he continued from that, Ljungberg was there as like a an assistant, if you like. He was kind of holding the fort for somebody more experienced, because he was never going to get the job full time, even though I said he wanted the job at the time. But they always wanted Arteta from the time when Wenger left. They wanted him, but he wasn't ready yet, and he was still kind of learning his craft under Pep at Man City. But when he came in and he carried on that 2020 season, 2019 to 2020 season, he won the FA Cup, which weren't with most of the players, virtually all the players weren't his players. They were a combination of Wenger and Emre's players, and he won the FA Cup. Ever since then, he hasn't even got into a final. He came close last season to win the league, but he stumbled. He gave up I heard it was a 10-point. I thought it was an 8-point lead, but he gave up a 10-point lead. Someone said I thought it was 8 points, but hey, let's say 10 points. And he allowed City looked down on the floor. They came all the way from nowhere and passed us and won us. Beat us to the Premier League title. And he spent £700 million in that time. And I would say, I don't know how many signings he's made. For example, say he's made about 25 signings in that time. You can only really count on one hand how many good signings there were. Maybe Odegaard, Saliba wanted his signing, Gabriel. So Odegaard, Gabriel Jesus, Thomas Partey, and maybe Declan Rice now. And Timber, that's about 6. Zinchenko looked a good signing initially, but I don't know what's going on with him. He doesn't look the same player he did last season. And he's inverted well, but his defensive side of his game, which really starts off as left back and then he goes into midfield as an inverted left back into midfield. And when people run at him, he loses it. He commits fouls, he makes errors, he gives the ball away. But going forward, he's excellent. And so some people are having a change of mind. Is he good enough to play at left back? Maybe they should probably move him. Arteta should move him into midfield and plays an 8. Probably plays an 8 alongside Odegaard, an attacking 8, and then let Declan Rice sit for the time being. And when Thomas Partey comes back, then Arteta's got an headache. What does he do? Does he play Partey as a sitter, and he's got a chance between Havertz, Odegaard, Rice, and Zinchenko, you see. And so it's a headache. So what we could rotate them, we could freshen them up, and don't play the same team every single week. Freshen it up, move things around. That's what Pep does. Pep doesn't play the same team every week at City. He moves it around, he changes, he rotates players, and that's what keeps Man City fresh. They have their injury problems as well, but he keeps the players fresh by moving players around. Sometimes you look at Man City's lineup and you think, why is he playing there? Why is he playing there? But Pep knows what he's doing. He moves it around to make the team balanced and to make everybody fresh. And their players, because Pep is a master manager, so he knows what he's doing. So all the players kind of align. One of the most successful managers of all time. I personally think he's the best manager of all time, and so they're always in. They always go along with what he's doing and what he's teaching. And it brings for a lot of good energy in the team, and he doesn't become stale. It freshens the team up, and that's why they always go from strength to strength and carry on and keep winning. And Arsenal, sometimes I think our problem is because Arteta doesn't trust many of the squad players, as we mentioned earlier in this stream. What happens is he plays the same teams all the time, the same lineups most of the time, and then he changes it very late in matches. And a lot of our fans are saying that what they want to see now is a change before, like within even half-time changes or change of lineup, and see how if there's a different dynamism in the team, and see how they go from there. But I hope I hope I get what I'm meaning. Someone's always come out as I want them. Yes, but personally speaking, I think that will be good. And look at the lineups towards the end of this stream. And what I'll do, maybe sometime down the line, I'll talk about them some more. I've given you some examples here of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about just changing some of the personnel, and then even and then going out. And we're linked with Ivan Toney. We've still been linked with Ivan Toney, but what I'm hearing is that Brentford don't want to sell him just yet. They're waiting for the summer, and maybe they can get they could create what we call a bidding war on an auction, and it goes to the highest bidder. But we linked with some other players in Germany like Boniface. People say Boniface, but it's actually pronounced Boniface. He plays for Leverkusen, and he's playing because Patrick Schick has been injured. So Xavi Alonso has been playing him up front for Bayer Leverkusen, and he's also been linked with us. And apparently, I'm hearing that we can get him for as little as a meager £60 million. And so we have to look out for that. I think that's a bit deal Arsenal can get. They'll definitely do it because we like a cheap deal, don't we, Arsenal? And it'd be a good sign. And he's about I think he's 23, 24, so he's young, and so he's got a lot of room to grow. And then I think we can get rid of Eddie Nketiah, sell him on, and use that money, and we'll get 30, 35, 40 million for Eddie Nketiah. Then that's half the money more or less for Boniface. We looked at other players as well. Some of them can't quite come to me. I know them, but I can't get them out. You see, we want some midfielders from Brazil. There's a guy called, I think he's in the ACL he plays in Portugal. I think he plays for Sporting Lisbon. He's a defender, and they reckon that he's in the same mold as Gabriel Margalles. And he's young. I think he's 20 or 21. And we're linked to him. And apparently I'm hearing that we've made a bid for him and that we're looking to get him in before the end of the window. He's a defender. And so we do need cover there because I'm not sure if they trust Jakub Kiwior. And even I thought when I've seen Jakub Kiwior, he looks okay. I think that Arsenal, we're looking to upgrade even more. We're looking to get somebody who can come in and, and just do the job rather than somebody you have to wait for. My personal opinion is that if they get this Inicia from Sporting, they should just, I hope I pronounced his name right, by the way. Forgive me if I haven't. They could just loan Kiwior. I know Milan wanted Kiwior. They could loan Kiwior to Milan, maybe with an option to buy even. And if they get back, we'll pay £25 million for him. If they get £30 million from Milan, we made a £5 million profit. I'll do it and get if this guy is better. And it looks like he might be better than Kiwior. And they reckon he's in the mold of Gabriel Margalles. And if that's the case, then we're onto a winner. Anyway, my people, so we've talked about a few subjects here. We talked about Arsenal, and I said I'm Arteta out. I was out last week after we lost to Fulham. We'll see how we go against Liverpool. If we don't beat Liverpool, I'll still be Arteta out. I'm not one of those favourite fans. I'm not one of those fickle fans. But I've wanted them out really ever since he came, and there was only a little time last season when we were winning. I thought, yeah, maybe, but I don't think he's the man. And I think some people are referring him to our version of Brendan Rodgers, right? When he got Liverpool up to a certain point and they had to go and get Klopp. Well, I think maybe Arteta is our Brendan Rodgers. He can only get us up to a certain point, and then maybe we'll have to go and get someone like a Simeone or an Ancelotti, or Conte or someone like that to come in and finish the job because they're winners. Those guys have won trophies. They've won Premier Leagues. Even the Jose Mourinho, they've won Premier Leagues and they've won in Europe as well, so they know what they're doing. Arteta's very young. It's his first job. He's really a novice, and so even though he's been there for 4 years, really what we should have done, we should have waited for him to go somewhere to manage first. We probably should have waited for him to go to Glasgow Rangers or go to Everton, where he's played many years, and then maybe give him a couple of years and see what he does, and then go for him. But we went straight in, just like that, when he, to lure a manager who hasn't got no experience managing, especially one of the biggest clubs in the world in Arsenal. And so that's on the Conkeys. That's their problem and that's their fault. And I personally think without a trophy, I've been saying it on many, many podcasts, many debates and many forums, that for me, if he doesn't win a trophy this season, he has to go. I'll take the FA Cup. If he wins the FA Cup and we finish in the top 4, I'll take that. FA Cup and top 4. That's like Wenger. I want more than that, but I'll take that. If he wins another FA Cup and finishes in the Champions League positions of top 4, I'll give him. I'll more or less give him a chance, another year. For me, top 4, no trophy, he has to go. We need a trophy. We haven't won a trophy for 4 years. After 700 million pounds spent, we need some silverware now. We're not winning the Champions League, I don't think. It don't look as though we're going to win the Premier League. I think that's between City and Liverpool. I still think City will come back and pick Liverpool. Liverpool finish second. We'll finish third, maybe fourth. I could see Villa. I could even see maybe Spurs finishing third at the moment. But I think the league is between Liverpool and City, like it was before last season when it was us and City. Anyway, my people, you take care of yourselves. I've got to love you and leave you now because I've got some stuff to do and I'm going to get some food because I'm very hungry. So, quite possible, you look out for us tomorrow. We might be doing the game live, the Arsenal v Liverpool FA Cup game live. And don't forget to look out for us during the winter break, which is coming up, I think, after next week. I think it's a 2-week break. So we're going to be doing, I think it's from we're now, what day is it today? We're now, is it the 6th today? I think it's the 6th today, isn't it? So I think the winter break starts from from Monday or Tuesday of next week. And it's a couple of weeks, literally. Then during that 2 weeks, I'm going to do some streams and upload some videos about, reviewing our season thus far. Because, some of the games we played, I done the previews, but I didn't do the reviews of it. So I'm going to try and catch up on the ones I didn't do. The ones I've done, I leave those, but the ones I didn't do, I'll come back and redo them. And of course, give you some, maybe if we've got the time and so on, we'll give you some extra bits and pieces and some extra snippets and some stuff like that. Some goodies for you to enjoy out there. Keep subscribing, as I keep saying. Share the videos, like the videos. If you're going to the match tomorrow, take care. Not just the Arsenal fans. If you're a Liverpool fan and you're watching this, look after yourselves. Travel down safely and travel up again safely as well, yeah? Hopefully we win tomorrow. I personally think we're going to lose 2-1. Mo Salah's not playing. So we're going to talk some more about the match tomorrow because it's going to be live on the BBC. And then we're going to be doing a watch-along for the game tomorrow. So look out for that. And we're going to be doing a live watch-along for Arsenal v Liverpool in the FA Cup tomorrow. Take care, brothers and sisters. Love you all. Peace out.